If you manage a commercial space, you know your walls are some of the most valuable real estate you have for branding. But what if the way we've always done it, with stickers, wraps, and paint, is actually holding you back? Today, we're going to dive into a technology that doesn't just put graphics on a wall, it literally makes them part of the wall itself.
So let me just ask a question, especially for anyone who's ever managed a facility or designed for a commercial space. Do your wall graphics feel like a constant battle? You know the feeling. You pour all this time and money into a beautiful design, only to watch the final product fall short and cause more headaches than it's worth.
I bet some of these look pretty familiar, right? You've got vinyl graphics with those ugly seams cutting right through the image, bubbles that pop up out of nowhere, and those peeling edges that just scream unprofessional. The installations can shut down entire areas for days. The graphics get scuffed up by the first cart that rolls by, and forget about putting them on anything but a perfectly smooth flat wall. Then, when it's time to update, your only option is to rip it all down, which creates a mountain of waste. It's a mess.
Look, these aren't just random little headaches. They're all symptoms of a really outdated approach that we've been stuck with for decades. The problem isn't your design, it's the medium itself. So let's really dig into why the old way is broken, and then explore a completely new way of thinking. So what is the solution? Well, it starts with a simple but kind of radical idea. Instead of adding another layer onto the wall, what if the graphic could become part of the wall? This is the whole idea behind direct-to-wall printing, and it's a technology that was literally designed to solve every single one of those problems we just talked about. So what exactly is direct-to-wall printing? It's a process where a super specialized printer applies a really durable UV-cured ink directly onto almost any surface. We're talking everything from smooth drywall to textured brick or even concrete. The key thing to get here is that this creates an architectural graphic. It's not a sticker, it's not a wrap, it's an image that's fully integrated into the building's actual structure. And wow, the difference is just night and day when you put them side by side. With vinyl, you're always fighting seams, bubbles, and that annoying reflective glare. Direct-to-wall printing, it gives you a perfectly seamless matte finish. Installation goes from this disruptive multi-day headache to a rapid, low-disruption process. And durability? You're going from something that's prone to peeling and damage to a finish that resists scuffs because there are no seams or edges to fail in the first place.
Okay, so beyond all the practical benefits, this tech just unlocks a whole new level of design freedom. Let's take a look at how it creates these flawless visuals and a high-end look that was, honestly, pretty much impossible before.
This quote right here really gets to the heart of it. The visuals look built in, not applied after the fact. This creates this amazing sense of permanence and quality. It just makes any design feel more intentional, more premium.
Now this is where it gets really interesting, because this tech breaks the biggest rule of traditional graphics. Just look at these surfaces. We're not just talking about perfectly smooth drywall, we're talking about putting a crisp, full-color school mascot on a rough, textured cinder block wall, or a detailed heritage timeline on historic interior brick. These are the real-world surfaces that make up our buildings.
And when we say high definition, we mean a lot more than just resolution. We're talking photorealistic images at a massive scale with absolutely zero seams to break the illusion. We mean smooth color gradients without any of that ugly banding, typography that is razor sharp, brand colors that are spot on, and, so importantly, a glare-free matte finish, which is absolutely essential for any space with a lot of overhead lighting.
But look, stunning visuals are only half the story. For this to be a real solution, it has to work for the people who actually manage the buildings day in and day out. So let's look at why this is so friendly for facility and business operations.
This number right here is a total game changer. Under 5 hours for a typical installation. Just think about that compared to vinyl, which can shut an area down for days. An entire wall can be totally transformed in a single morning. That means minimal, and I mean minimal, disruption to your customers, your patients, or your students. The impact on business continuity is just massive.
And this shows you exactly how that speed fits into the real world. For a hospital, you can print between nursing shifts. A school, do it over a long weekend. In retail, it's all done overnight so you don't lose a single minute of sales. The whole process is designed to be basically invisible to your core operations.
Of course, a fast install doesn't mean much if it doesn't last, right? Well, because the ink literally bonds to the wall, it creates this super durable surface that's truly designed for high-traffic environments. It can handle rolling carts, scuffing backpacks, and all the wear and tear of a busy space. This just makes life so much easier for maintenance teams. There are no seams to trap dirt or start peeling up. You can clean the walls with the products you already use. There's no film to delaminate, which means no more emergency calls to come patch up a damaged vinyl panel. It's just a low-maintenance, high-performance solution. Plain and simple.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and look at the long-term strategic advantages. This is where we get into the cost, the flexibility, and the pretty significant environmental impact of moving away from all those traditional materials.
The sustainability story here is incredibly compelling. With direct-to-wall printing, you eliminate the entire waste stream of vinyl. Think about it. No PVC films, no chemical adhesives, no plastic or paper backing liners that all just end up in a dumpster. And because it's all done on-site, you also slash the waste from shipping and packaging. Plus, its durability means way fewer rip-and-replace cycles over the building's lifetime.
This efficiency really starts to scale up, especially for any organization with multiple locations. I mean, no more buying and storing giant rolls of vinyl. Labor costs are slashed because the installs are so fast. You eliminate those costly measurement errors. And the ability to simply paint over the graphic instead of tearing it down saves a fortune. It makes big brand rollouts so much more efficient and predictable.
And this right here is maybe the most powerful point for long-term flexibility. When a tenant moves out or a brand refresh is needed, you don't have this huge, messy project on your hands. The wall is paint-over ready. You just prime it and paint it, like any other wall in your building. The space is instantly ready for whatever's next.
So it really all comes down to this. For decades, we've kind of accepted this trade-off between great design, durability, and operational efficiency. Direct-to-wall printing is basically saying that trade-off is over. You can have it all. So the final question is this: what could you create if updating your most important spaces was as simple and as easy as painting a wall? Thanks for joining us.